Alrighty, my scientists, hello and welcome to yet another Facebook Live from the Arizona Science Center. This summer, Camp Innovation is taking over our Facebook Lives in order to let you all see a little bit into what we're doing here at camps. So all throughout the summer at 12:30 each weekday, we're going to be showing you a little bit more and more of the fun activities that we've been doing from week to week inside of our camps. My name is Cole. I'm one of the instructors here at the Camp Innovation, and this week we are running our Calling All Scientists Camp. Now, why this camp is so much different and more unique than the other camps is because as opposed to sticking to just one subject, we're covering a ton of different scientific fields and the scientists inside of them as well. So today, we're going to be highlighting a very specific field, botany. But before we do, friends, go ahead in the comments below, let me know what you think botany is. I'll give you all a second to toss it in there. Alrighty, if you guessed that botany is the study of plants and how plants work, you are entirely correct. Scientists like George Washington Carver and others have paved the way to help us not only understand how plants work, but also how we can use them to our benefit in agriculture and other food-related industries. Now, today, what we're going to be learning about is how plants use water and suck it into their bodies. Now, we all know that you need to water plants, right? It's like one of the first things you learn when your parents give you like your first sunflower, or if you're helping them in the garden, or watering the lawn and everything. Plants need water. But why do they need water? Well, the answer is actually really, really cool and surprising. So plants need water because, unlike us, let's take a step back. So we as humans, we get all of our food, or we get all of our energy through our food, right? So we eat food, we consume it, and then we break it down in our bodies, and that energy gets distributed wherever it needs to. Plants don't have a mouth. Plants don't have a digestive system at all. They get all of their energy from the nutrients around them, and also the sun up above. So in order to get certain types of energy, like the energy found in sugar, what plants will do is they'll suck up the water from their surroundings through their root system. So if you ever pull a flower or a plant out of the ground and you see all these little like branch-looking things on the bottom, those are called roots. The root's main job is to suck up water and nutrients from its surrounding. And so after it sucks up all those water and nutrients, water travels through the body of the plant, called the stem, through a system or through a process called capillary action. Now, capillary action is kind of a suction effect that occurs through another process called transpiration. Now, transpiration is kind of like perspiration, which is a big fancy science word for sweating. So you know if you're like exercising and running around, you're shooting b-ball or whatever, you get like all sweaty and stinky. What's happening is your body is trying to cool yourself down by using some of the water and liquid inside of your body to use an evaporative effect, cooling your body's temperature. Now plants, they don't need to cool themselves down in that way, but what they're doing is they're actually giving up excess water because they might have sucked up a little bit too much from their environment. Now, when they release that water from their petals and from their leaves through transpiration, it causes that suction effect I was talking about earlier, the capillary action, to suck up more water underneath, and thus the cycle continues over and over throughout the plant's life. What we can do is we can highlight this with a super fun activity that you see on the table, because plants don't just suck up the water from their environment, they suck up the nutrients as well, so like certain minerals that they need in order to survive. So, if you look at the table, we have a bunch of different plants. We have some celery, we have some flowers over here, some different flowers and whatnot, all along here. And as you probably noticed, there is some different colored water that these plants are in. So the ones over here, we are going to call this our control group, because in a science experiment, it's always important to have a group that you're not really messing with. You're not really changing anything. So we have our control group, or our normal group, over here, our standard group if you want to think about it that way. And this one just has regular water, and nothing fancy is happening to the plants, right? These plants are absorbing water through their stems and through whatever micro roots they might have after they get cut off and whatnot, and it's destemmed. So they look entirely normal. However, what we can do is we can add a different variable. So variable is something that you change in a science experiment. So in this case, what we're changing is what we add into the water, namely food coloring. So if we look over here, we have added several different types of food coloring into the water in order to see what happens. You can do this at home too. Just make sure you ask your parents' permission and get some help with that as well. All you need to do is take whatever plants you might have around the house. It could be celery, it could be flowers, it could be whatever you want. Stick it in some water, and then put some food coloring in there and just wait. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, maybe, if you really want to get some amazing results, and make some observations as to what happens. What we found here is, as you can look very carefully, some of these are soaking in the colors of their water. So this one has a little bit of a bluish tint to it, not too much. This guy is a little bit orange, not too vibrant. These two though, as you can tell, this one has very, very heavy blue dye in its leaves and in its stem. And then this one over here basically looks super orange and red. Same thing with these ones over here too. These ones didn't quite collect as much dye as the other ones, but this flower now has some blue streaks in it. This one over here is almost entirely like a very, very light blue. And then same thing with these ones over here, very light red and whatnot. I'm sure if we left these in this water for longer, then they would get more and more dye in them because of that process of transpiration and capillary action. So what we've found right here is that the plants are not only absorbing the water molecules from the glass, but they're also absorbing the dye around them because, like when plants absorb the nutrients from their environment, they suck in more than just the water. And there you go, friends. That is our quick science demo on plants and how they bring water into their bodies. We hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said earlier, we have these Facebook Live demos every weekday at 12:30. We're going to be doing another one tomorrow that I guarantee you are not going to want to miss. As always, friends, please stay safe out there. Wear a mask, wash your hands, social distance, and whatnot. And thank you so much for tuning into the video. I'll see you in the next one.